Jamie Wilson here again with Coldwell Banker Solano Pacific. I am your local and Bay Area realtor. I do specialize in Solano County as that's where I live. I am at an open house right now, and I do have a video, and I have some content and pictures, photos of this property that I'm at. It's really, really a beautiful place over here on the hilltop in the city of Vallejo. I'm going to share that in a separate video because I really need to come on here and share with you some of the huge changes going on in the real estate market. I don't know if any of you know this, probably most of you don't, but there was a landmark of a lawsuit filed just recently, and it's now in effect as of a couple days ago. That's why I wanted to come on here and share this with you, but I was waiting for it to be in effect. Landmark of a lawsuit across the country with the Real Estate Association. This is affecting the entire country. Okay. So these are a few of the key changes. I'm going to try to go over them as quickly as I can. So, what is it? Commission structures. So the commissions now need to be full disclosure, right up front. Full disclosure of the commissions. Who's paying the commission? Is it the buyer? Is it the seller? It has to be discussed right up front, right away, so there's no conflict. No confusion, no conflict. We have to get past the uncomfortableness of being brand new with each other, and we have to now discuss the commission. One thing I want to say about this lawsuit, let me back up a little bit. Because of this lawsuit, this has really shed some light on the professionals in the real estate market. It really has shed some light on how we've been doing things for years and years and years. It has now helped us see that we had to step up our game, update how we do things, how we discuss things, how we document things. We need to update that to better have better fairness, transparency, good, strong relationships with each other, right? As me as a professional and I represent a buyer or a seller, we want to have a really good relationship when it comes to buying a home. That's the biggest transaction one would ever make in their lifetime, most likely, right? You want to have a good established relationship with that individual, that professional, and vice versa. I want to have a good relationship with you. So that is a good thing that came out of this lawsuit, is it has shown us things that we need to do better. Okay, so let me get back to the key changes. The commission structure, we need to discuss it right away. Okay, it restrictions on dual agency. That I'll just tell you real quick. So dual agency, say if I'm selling a property and then the buyer, somebody comes to me and says, oh, I want to buy that property you're selling. So then she doesn't have an agent, so she buys with me. So boom, I'm representing the buyer and the seller. I'm doing the whole transaction. Usually, most of the time, a seller has their own agent and a buyer has their own agent. But sometimes the one single agent does the entire single transaction together. It's prohibited now. Most brokers, I don't believe that's a law, but that's one of the things we wanted to change. Most brokers are prohibiting that. They will not do that because of conflict of interest and protection on both sides, right? You want to protect both sides. So it's going to be separate. A buyer and a seller will have their own agent. Mandatory disclosures of fees is the other one. So, and this, I'm going to tell you all these things that I'm naming should have always been in effect. We should have always been doing this. But this, we have to, like, definitely, maybe newer agents or, I don't know, lazy agents, who knows? For some reason, these things were not happening. It's law. We have to do these things now, which is good. This is a good thing. So mandatory disclosures of fees. Like I just closed with a client, and when we're looking into the property, I have to tell my client, and I did tell my client, hey, there's down payment. This is what your down payment is. There will also be closing costs separate. So in your account, in your assets, do you have this much for appraisals and this much for appraisal, inspections, notary, different things? So there's a down payment, which is cut and dry. That's right there. You know what your down payment is. But there's closing costs, and those fluctuate, and that could differ. But you and I have to have full disclosure. You have to go away, you as my buyer or seller, have to walk away knowing the financial situation. And that's with major help of the lender. Your lender will all be involved in that discussion. But I cannot leave you high and dry wondering how much this is going to cost or what's that mean, or, after the fact. Like after, we don't want to surprise anybody, and once we're already in escrow, that there's a few $100s racked on that you didn't know about, right? So we have to have full transparency and disclosure on the fees, all the fees involved, right? Now, this one, the open house and the buyer representation. These are two of the biggest ones, in my opinion. Just to see an open house now, and you can't, even a neighbor, anybody, to go to an open house. I'm at an open house right now, hostessing. Say somebody comes in, wants to see this house. I have a form that they now need to sign. So anybody that comes in has to sign this legal documentation. It's just your name, your phone number, and if you have an agent already. And if you want to know more about that, I can even show you the form and read it to you. It's basically just establishing what you're doing here, what your plan is, and what my plan is. And then you sign it. You can't go to an open house anymore and not sign in and state, these questions that they're wanting you to provide on the form. It's a very simple, basic sign-in sheet, okay? But it is a legal form, and there are some wording that you'll want to go over. If you want to know what that looks like, I can definitely go over that with you. The buyer representation, that is something that like I said, we've always done. Back when I was saying these are all conversations we should have always been having. The buyer representation is a legal document that's always been a part of the agreement, except we've always just signed it later. So say a buyer had come, this is not something I've implemented while I've been in real estate. I would do this later, like most agents. A buyer would come to me, I would just show them property. I would just, even if they didn't have their lending letter, their money, the loan, I would still show them property. I would go wherever they want, or I would send them property on the phone, shoot them an email of a property that I think they might be interested in. I can't do that anymore. And not just me, no professional realtor across the country can just show you property anymore. You and I have to sit down face to face or do FaceTime. Either way, you and I have to have a discussion and go over documents, legal documents of the buyer representation of what we're doing together before I could show you a property. That's probably the biggest one that you and I, all of us, would adjust to in this. But you guys, this is such a great thing. In this buyer representation, I am establishing who I am to you, what my duty is for you as your agent, our relationship. You and I will have a firm foundation and understanding of what we're doing, what your goal is, and our goal together as a team to get your home. We're establishing that before we go see a house, right? It's really, really good. This is great. Has to be signed before I can show you a property. In that too is financial discussion and a financial document that needs to be signed. So along with us talking about who we are and what I'm going to do for you, my due diligence, where my heart is with you, how I'm going to take care of you and your family to get your home, and how, what you expect of me, what we expect of each other, working to get your home. Just as we sign that, you and I are also going to sit down and discuss your finances, your financial situation. That will be with the help of a lender too. But we're going to do that together. And there's a legal documentation of that as well, where we will fill in what this documentation is asking of your finances. That needs to be signed before we go see a property. So before I could show you a property in person, or even through the phone, via text, via email, you and I are going to establish our relationship and get the finances all in order, so you and I have that really firm foundation to get your home. This ain't bad. This is not a bad thing. This is such a good thing, especially in this time that we're in, right? Where things are a lot of things are assumed. People aren't having hard conversations right away, or people don't really know how to have the conversations. Especially if someone comes to me and wants to just go see a property, but I have to ask them about their financial situation first. That's considered a hard conversation, right? So most agents, we're not doing that right away. We're not asking those things, but now we have to. So there's no guessing on my end. There's no guessing on your end. There's no assumptions anywhere. And so we're establishing, like I said, a really awesome, firm foundation for a relationship to go get your home or sell your home, okay? So this is really, really good, and I just want to encourage everybody. Let me say one thing, though. What my hope is in all this is, one of the things that this will affect is maybe interest rates will go down. I'm hoping the interest rates will go down because of this lawsuit. So hold on to that thought, okay, and that hope. But this is a good thing. Agents have to comply with this. Brokers and agencies have professionals of the real estate market. We have to comply with this. There will be penalties involved. Like, if I don't do this, I could lose my license. I have to do this for you. And I can't just say you come to me and you don't really like this whole idea and you don't want to sign anything, but you want to see a house, so you try to go to another agent. I'm sorry, I'm just going to tell you right now, you will not be able to. This is countrywide. Every agent, professional of real estate has to do these steps legally. We have to do it. So it's going to impact the real estate market, yes. I want to tell you that the ultimate and best good thing about this, you guys, is it's going to create a more transparent market and relationship for you. This is only the ultimate goal is it's only going to better for the consumers, the buyers, the sellers, and the investors. This is a really good thing that's taken place. just a couple days ago. This is now in effect. This is how it's going to be. So let's all be patient with each other as we're all learning this. Like on my end as a professional, as you know, the one that's here to help my clients, I've been learning, and we're all of us professionals are going to have to learn this all together. I've been taking classes and classes under my broker. I get really the best training at Coldwell Banker Solano Pacific, the best training in this, what's going on. So on our end as the professionals, we need to stay up and stay trained and keep having these conversations and keep learning, because we're going to have to implement this. I'm going to have to, when the people come for this open house, I'm going to need to go over a lot of this with them, right? Again, full transparency and disclosure. So it's all starting with us as the professionals. So I want to tell you that we are really, really doing our diligence to learn this. We're hopeful, we're excited in this brand new change in this. We're really excited. If you were in my office and could see how we're all just hungry and wanting to learn this the best that we can, so that we can better the real estate market for our clients. You guys, if you could see, I mean, we really, really are. So on our end, we're learning that. And then on, our clients' end, buyers and sellers and investors, we got to all be patient. You got to be patient as we all try to get this dynamic going, because it's going to be a brand new, awesome relational value to the market. It really, really is. And I'm just going to add one more thing. Those real estate brokers that are only online, and they only, whatever they offer, I don't know what they offer, but it's usually, there's an underlining there. But if it's not a person, face to face, you're really going to want to stay away from those types of agencies and brokerages. You really, really are. You're going to want a person in your community or the community that you're moving to, a human like me, to have interaction, not reaction, but we all do react, right? To have that relational conversation and that eye contact and that face-to-face. You want that when you're purchasing your home. Do not go over the phone or on your computer with these places and buy a home. I have lots of stories. I can tell you some. If you call me, I'll let you know. I can share some of those stories with you. So that's all I wanted to say, kinda. I could go on and on about this because this is huge. This is a really big deal. It's going to be so good, though. So let's all be patient with each other. It's going to be a turning point for real estate. This is going to be really good. And I'm really excited to see where this goes, you guys. So again, I'm Jamie Wilson, and that is the skinny on what is happening in the real estate world. Stay tuned. I'm going to have some footage of the open house. I'm going to put together a video really soon. Message me any questions. Call me any questions, okay? Tell me what you think. Do that too. Put it in the chat and tell me what you think about all this. I really, really would like to hear from you. I would like to I never say this, but I'm telling you, I'd really like to get a conversation going about what you think about all this and any questions that you might have. All right? Thank you so much. Take care. Jamie Wilson, Coldwell Banker, Solano Pacific.